God answered our prayers yesterday as we triumph against our opponent. And trust me, we have no reason to be in this situation as far as the World Cup qualifiers are. But we are already here. We have everything. We have everything to build ourselves out in this situation. So, Thelma, Osimhen is injured. Osimhen is injured. So it's doubtful for South African encounter, and we actually need him. But of course, we have other scorers, and I trust our boys will do their best. Battle of Bloemfontein. South Africa play hide and seek with Nigeria. Refuse to provide landing space time for Eagles jet. Today's departure may suffer delay. This is coming from Sunday Sporting Live. Osimhen injured, doubtful, of course, we just said that against South Africa. We need him, but I trust our boys to do the needful. Saliba out for 4 weeks. Santos confirmed Saudi offer. Of course, for the tennis lovers, today will be a very, very huge match between Sinner Alcaraz as they set for gripping US Open final. Details of that are on page 5. Now to Sunday Vanguard. We start with story just above the masthead. Jonathan opens up on eligibility to run again. I am unstoppable. Judge shades light on APC INEC's failure to defend suit against the ex-president. Details of that on page 25. Nigeria's Gen Z creates on multi-million-dollar economy. Details of that on page 7. Now to the leading story. Bumpy road to 2027. Politicians plot to rig. INEC infiltrated. Tinubu shops for Yakubu's successor. It has some riders here. Plotters mall printing of multiple identical result sheets. Plan to create disparities between polling unit results and posts on IREV. Voter registration exercise allegedly compromised. Lessons from the U.S. Kenya, Ghana, and South Africa. Yakubu and his promises. Yakubu Atiku clash over Tinubu Atiku clashes over persecution of the opposition. Details of all this can be found on page 9. Trust me, 2027 is still far ahead, but it's heating up. Now to Leadership Sunday. Agberos bring death fear to Abuja roads. Of course, this, we all know what happened during the week about the incidents that happened around Mabushi, where Engineer Maker lost his life, that of his wife, and of course their child. These Iberos, I don't know where they're coming from, but they need to be stopped. Yeah, unfortunately. Now, Northern Industries on life support as states crawl to oil. Companies shot, overgrown with weeds. Youth roams, beg to survive as economy bites harder. Details of that are on page 4. Resumption school fees, rent hike, spark parents' concern. Thelma.
It's all of us, so the collective responsibility.
I'm sure Patience is not having that experience.
Why would you even say that?
Well, something needs to be done, really. World Cup qualifiers, Super Eagles spank Rwanda, target South Africa win. Details of that in the center page there. Now, to Sunday Telegraph, above the masthead, Oyedele, 5% fuel tax not introduced by Tinubu, says January date not sacrosanct. It will worsen poverty in 2026. Man CSOs. Details of that are on page 3. Now, what is Trump saying on page 5? Trump threatens sanctions against detention of U.S. nationals abroad. Now, to the leading... Okay, still on 2023 Electricity Act review. NAS to scrap band A, B, C, D tariff categories. I'm sure a lot of people will have interest in this.
Amen.
Okay, are you band A?
I don't want to talk about it here. Before I start crying.
Plans are unconstitutional, illegal, says the organized private sector, ex-NIC chair, others. Lawmaker low causing conflict in power sector reforms. Details of that are on page 4. Now, litigation. PDP may not have candidates in 2027. Ex-governor says the issues shouldn't be about Wike. Party lost Delta, Akwa Ibom governors to uncertainty. Ex-National Working Committee member Ologunagba. We can't succumb to threats. Details of this can be found on page 2. Now to the last paper I have with me, and that is The Nation. All right, let's go straight to the leading story. Why we are yet to accord ADC recognition. INEC says party yet to communicate reports of NEC meeting ratifying new leadership. Mark Aregbesola failed to submit specimen signature. Now, Tinubu's vacation, governance not grinding to halt. APC tells Obi. Details of that on page 8. Enugu government accuses Sujimoto of premeditated fraud, says suspect absconded after collecting 5.7 billion naira as mobilization. Protesters boo Obi for bringing El-Rufai to Owerri. Ex-Labour Party presidential candidate falls ill, suspends engagement. Details of that can be found on page 4. And that is how much we can take from the papers. I know Thelma